Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to this channel, the place where nobody tells you the full truth. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope you're doing really well, and let's see what messages the cards have for you today. Remember, this is a general reading. Take whatever resonates with you and let go of what doesn't apply to your situation. Let's begin. Sagittarius. Here we have the 7 of Cups, the 10 of Cups, and the 8 of Swords. Alright, what are they telling us? On one hand, this tells me you've faced many disappointments in your life, and in the end, everything teaches you something. It's like someone shows you something, makes you notice it, and your first reaction isn't necessarily what pushes you to act. I see this could be about a friendship, someone you reconnect with, someone you've adored and shared great moments with. However, I sense a lot of pressure in that relationship, a lot of obligations, and in the end it makes you feel like your space is being taken from you. You have the ability to see who deserves your trust and who doesn't. You know this well, because wanting company doesn't mean mixing desire with hunger, or hunger with the desire to eat. I see you in a moment where you're truly caught between a rock and a hard place regarding what's happening right now. So I see you setting a boundary here. This card tells me you'll be the one noticing whether that person, or those people, are living irresponsibly or with integrity. I see you taking things one at a time, because you can't solve everything at once. That might be creating some anxiety for you. So here I see several people, but not all of them deserve a place in your life. Remember, pressure doesn't get to decide for you, and a friendship can return to your life, but only if the trust is still there, the way it was before, regardless of the distance that existed between you two. So I see you in a situation where someone is present, but you're not entirely sure. Time will give you the clearest answers about whether it's worth rekindling that friendship, or whether too much time has passed and you've both changed so much that you're no longer the same people. And of course, this matters a lot, because if you think I'm who I was yesterday, it's because you don't know me today. Life keeps teaching us, we go through disappointments over time, and eventually we stop trusting so easily right away. That's the point where you find yourself right now. Also, I'm being told you've spent weeks feeling like things take more effort than usual. I see that shifting. A good stretch is coming for you. Here we have the Hermit, the 5 of Pentacles, and the Chariot. Underneath the deck, we have the 5 of Swords. For a long time, you've been going over a contradiction on your own. Someone may have treated you in a contradictory way. What's happening is that you're someone who doesn't like leaving anyone out in the cold, so you're always the one wanting to help someone, whether financially or in some other way. What I'm sensing is that everything will start moving, the relationship, the project, whatever you have going on, I see it advancing, but I also feel there's someone creating a lot of tension for you. So once this person steps out of your life, that's when you'll move forward without any obstacles or mental clutter distracting you. Watch this person's behavior closely. I see they're facing something within themselves that they don't like. This isn't something you can fix for them. It's a hard time for that person, but in this story, you can't help them with what's causing them so much unrest, something they themselves dislike. So you need to make decisions with your own future in mind, not around constantly defending yourself. It's important to reflect and recognize that you didn't cause the distance, nor did you handle things badly between the two of you. Now this person comes back, and you think, how do I help? They're in conflict with themselves, how am I supposed to fix that? Don't be hard on yourself. You can be there for them, but only as much as you're able. And the moment this person sees your attitude, that's when they'll start to reconsider. As for you, with your own projects and your own matters, I see you moving forward, regaining your momentum, because if this person has been holding you back in one way or another. Someone who left, went quiet, and now returns needing something, was dealing with an inner conflict, and now comes to Sagittarius, who thinks, well, what do you want me to do now? If that person walked away, it was likely a selfish choice, choosing comfort for themselves when the relationship called for responsibility. You've already lived through that pattern, showing up one day and disappearing the next. This card explains your current distrust toward this person, and a simple apology won't be enough, because they were the one who damaged the trust you had in them. At the same time, this card is also showing me that you're focused on financial matters, and you're prioritizing work, letting other things take a back seat for now. I see you focused on your money, and in the coming days you may receive an income meant entirely for your family, perhaps for a mother figure going through a change, who has needed that support for a while to feel more at ease. Let's continue. Your trust was taken from you. Here we have Death, the Two of Wands, the Six of Wands. And beneath the deck, we leave the King of Cups, which represents your own energy. With Death appearing here, it's very clear. That person no longer holds the center of your emotions, nor does it shape the decisions you want to make right now. Your priorities lie elsewhere, and you're organizing your life in a way that will naturally bring your work into focus, since this person shows up while you're already doing well with your own things, your projects, your family, so I don't see them causing any real interference anymore. None at all. It no longer affects you. You've been through a long stretch, because Death speaks of transformation. It hasn't been easy, but you're returning to your own center. Emotionally, you're in a strong place, ready to make decisions, because you hold the reins. I see big goals ahead of you, different from the ones you had before. Everything has changed and things have turned around. You're bringing order to your life, your own plans, but without this person factored in anymore. So after closing this chapter, you enter a stage of progress, of shining, a stage where major success and recognition arrive, far more visible than before. Because yes, you did adore this person, but we're speaking in the past tense now. As we said, you two were once perfectly matched, there was a lot of love, but after the distance grew, things changed. You had an experience with this person, but ultimately it ended in disappointment too. I don't see this hurting you anymore, so I see you closing this chapter completely. You have your own priorities, and this doesn't feel like a loss, quite the opposite, it's bringing you closer to something with far greater impact on your life. Because we also have the Six of Wands here, don't forget. I see you in a situation where your progress isn't just personal, since I do see personal growth here, but also professional, career-related. I see you speaking openly, in front of everyone, about the plans you have, the order you've put into place, and where you want to head from here. So I even see recognition coming your way. As much as this person returns, you're already on a different wavelength. Sagittarius, you're at a point where you know exactly what kind of people you want in your life and in your projects. And I see you choosing people who share the work, share the learning, share their wisdom, someone responsible, not just someone who shows up with temporary enthusiasm and then leaves you in the dark. That's not who you're interested in. Either you build a team to grow together with real structure, or in the end you let it go, because Sagittarius can't keep carrying everything alone. I see you intending to build, but building with people who are responsible. And underneath the deck we have the Hanged Man, which tells you that if you're waiting on money that got held up for reasons outside your control, that money is on its way, it won't take much longer. It may have stalled a few days ago, but it's coming, don't worry. So that money that's been held back, tied up in something outside your hands, it's going to arrive. Also, be mindful of envy. I see quite a few envious people around you. Let me give you a message from the Oracle for Sagittarius. What message do we have for you? As you can see, your path opens up, money arrives, success arrives. There's someone who's been silent, and that silence breaks. And here we have the Mask card, meaning that by showing a false image of yourself, you drift away from your true self. That's why, if there's something you don't like, you don't have to keep swallowing it. We used to adore each other, spend time together, inseparable, but that's no longer the case. Time has moved on and so has my life. I can't keep living in the illusion of a past that no longer exists in this present. My life is different now. So I won't be able to give you the version of me I used to be, because I'm simply not that person anymore. And that's how the energy stands right now. If this connects with you, subscribe, leave a like, and write in the comments, my path is opening again. So it is. See you in the next reading. Before we close today, let's go a little deeper, Sagittarius, because there's more the cards want to show you. I'm pulling a few extra cards here, and this is going to give you even more clarity about what's coming. Here we have the Star, the Three of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. This part of the reading is about what's arriving after this cycle of closure we just talked about. The Star tells me that after everything you've been through, there's a real sense of hope returning to your life. Not a naive hope, but one that's grounded, one that comes from having gone through hard moments and coming out the other side with more clarity about who you are. You're going to start feeling lighter, like a weight has been lifted off your chest that you didn't even realize you were carrying. The Three of Wands is showing me expansion. This is a card of looking toward the horizon, of plans that are finally starting to take shape after a long wait. I see you making a decision soon, maybe about travel, maybe about a project you've been sitting on for a while, something you kept postponing because the timing never felt right. Well, the timing is shifting now. I see doors opening that were closed before, opportunities that come from people who see your potential and want to work with you, not use you. This is different from the pressure we talked about earlier. This is someone or something that adds to your life instead of draining it. The Page of Pentacles tells me there's a new beginning connected to your finances or your studies. If you've been thinking about learning something new, a skill, a course, something that could open new doors professionally, this is the moment to start. I see this bringing you real, tangible results, not just something you dabble in for a week and abandon. You have the discipline right now to actually follow through, and the cards are confirming that this is a good time to plant that seed. I also want to mention something about your health and your energy levels, Sagittarius, because I feel this is important. You've been carrying a lot mentally these past few weeks, more than you let on to the people around you. You tend to put on a strong face, you don't like showing when things are heavy for you, but I see that this emotional load has been affecting your sleep and your patience with the small things. The cards are telling you to slow down for a moment, even just a few days, to rest properly. This isn't weakness, this is you recognizing that you can't pour from an empty cup. Once you allow yourself that rest, I see your energy coming back stronger, and you'll notice you have more patience and more clarity to handle everything else that's coming your way. There's also something coming through about a reunion, not necessarily with the person we discussed earlier, but with an old friend or family member you haven't spoken to in a while. I see a message arriving, maybe a call, maybe just a simple text, and it's going to bring you a lot of joy. This person has been thinking about you too, and this reconnection comes at exactly the right time, when you need a reminder that you have people in your corner who care about you without conditions attached. Financially, I want to add a bit more detail to what I mentioned before. There's a second source of income I'm seeing here, separate from the one connected to your family. This one seems tied to your own efforts, something you've been working on quietly, maybe a side project or an idea you haven't fully committed to yet. I see this gaining momentum in the coming weeks if you decide to give it real attention instead of just thinking about it. The cards are encouraging you to stop overthinking and start taking small, consistent action. You don't need to have it all figured out today, you just need to take the next step. Lastly, I want to leave you with this. Everything you've been through this past cycle, the disappointments, the confusion, the waiting, none of it was wasted. It was all preparing you for the version of yourself that's about to step forward. You're not the same person who went through all of that, and that's exactly the point. You're allowed to want more, you're allowed to expect better from the people around you, and you're allowed to walk away from anything that no longer feels aligned with who you're becoming. If this reading spoke to you, subscribe, leave a like, and let me know in the comments which part resonated with you the most. My path is opening again. So it is. See you in the next reading.